What's up everyone, I'm Jeremy McHone with the Whissel Realty Group. I just wanted to shoot a quick video with a market update to discuss what's going on in the market right now, November 2022. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market right now. A lot of people are wondering what's happened. So I wanted to dig into the numbers so that we're not speculating on what's happening. We're just talking about the facts, and then we can draw some basic conclusions from those facts. Let's talk about what pricing is doing right now, because everybody knows that prices are declining. You might have seen some places people still saying prices aren't declining. We're up 4% year over year. Yes, that's true. However, that's year over year. So from last year to this year, prices have gone up 4%, 3%, depending on where you look. However, if you look from the peak this year, which was in April, to now, the median home price in San Diego was $1 million in April. That's for single family homes. Now it's about $880. So that's a 12% decrease from the top. So regardless of what you may hear, prices are currently declining in San Diego County. That's just a fact. If you look at the median price, every month it's gone down since April. So we're in a declining market. There's no debate about it now. Those are just numbers. What's causing that? Well, let's look at, first of all, supply and demand, because that's what sets pricing, right? What's interesting is you would think that there's more homes coming on the market, maybe that's what's causing it, but it's actually not true. New listings right now are, for October, the most recent month that we have the data for, because now we're in November, new listings are down about 25%. So you may be wondering, well, if new listings are down 25%, that means inventory should be down, so why are prices going down? Well, let's look at the other side. That's the supply side. Let's look at the demand side. The way we measure demand, the best measure we have of it is looking at pending listings. So that's homes that went under contract. Last month, pending listings were down about 44%. So while yes, on the supply side, new listings, there's less homes coming on the market, new listings are down around 25%. On the other side of the equation, on the demand side, pending listings are actually down even more at 44%. So the problem isn't that there's not enough homes on the market. The problem is there's not enough buyers buying those homes. And even if not that many homes are coming on the market, you still don't have enough coming off the market, and so inventory still grows. And so when we look at overall supply is up about over 80% from this time last year. So what that means is there's a lot more homes on the market for you to choose from if you're a buyer. What that also means is if you're a seller, it's a lot more competitive right now to sell your home than it has been for the last couple of years. So even though there's not as many homes coming on the market, because they're not coming off quickly enough, the inventory is still piling up. What does that mean for you? That means if you're a buyer, it's actually a pretty good time to buy a home right now. You've got a lot more choices than you've had over the last couple of years. And a lot of sellers are feeling that pressure. And so you're seeing price reductions. You're seeing them being willing to negotiate with you. We're seeing credits to the buyers. So you can get that home in the neighborhood you want, on the terms you want, and you can probably get it for a good price. The downside right now of that is interest rates. You're gonna have to eat that high interest rate right now. Earlier this year, at the beginning of the year, we were seeing interest rates in the low 3s, sometimes even the high 2s. Right now, they're in the mid to high 6s. And that's after they came down this week. Earlier this month, they're actually in the low 7s. So if you're a buyer, yes, you gotta eat that crappy rate. But when rates come down in the future, you can always refinance that. So you can change your rate. One thing you can't change is your purchase price. So you can lock in a really good price right now while prices have declined. And then when rates come down, as inflation comes down in the future, you can refinance and get a nice low payment. What's causing the new listings to be so low right now? My best guess is it's also interest rates. If you're a seller and you refinanced recently in the last couple of years and you have a high 2, low 3% interest rate, and you're looking at selling your home and buying another home, you're looking at effectively doubling your interest rate when you sell your home. A lot of homeowners right now that were thinking about selling decided to hold off because they don't want to sell their home right now at a lower price than they could have got a few months ago, and then buy a new home at double the interest rate. So there's a lot of sellers that are holding off on selling because of interest rates also, which has helped preventing even more homes from coming on the market. Does that mean that you should hold off on selling your home? There's not really a right answer to that. It really depends. If you have to move and you know you're gonna have to sell sometime in the next 6 months or a year, it's probably best just to rip that Band-Aid off and sell it right now. Are you gonna get as much as you could 6 months ago? Unfortunately, no. However, like I said at the beginning of the video, year over year, prices are up 4%. So that means that's actually a healthy growth number. So that means if last year, if you were thinking, oh, next year I'm gonna sell my home, and you were told, well, you're probably gonna sell it for about 4% that it's worth right now, at that time, you'd probably be pretty happy with that number. Now, since then, prices went up and then they went back down. And so now you might seem like it's a disappointment to sell your home at the price it is right now because you're looking at what the prices were in April. But in the long term, if you've been in your home for more than 6 months or a year, you probably have pretty good equity. You probably did a really good job. You're gonna sell that home for a lot more than you bought it for, so it's still a win. Now, if you don't need to sell your home, but you've been thinking about it, maybe you might wanna move, but you're not sure, it probably makes sense to hold off right now on selling your home until prices start to come back up, because most economists think that interest rates are gonna come down next year. And if interest rates come down, most likely that means that we're gonna see prices rebound. Right now, I think if you're a buyer and you're thinking about buying, I think it's a great time. My advice would be to buy now, get a really good price, get the home you want in the neighborhood you want. You're probably gonna have a few options available. It's not like last year where there was one home in the neighborhood on the market with 6 offers. Now there's probably 6 homes in the neighborhood and one of them's getting offers. So it's a much easier market to be purchasing in. You can be a little bit pickier and just eat that crappy rate for now and know that you can always refinance down the road. If you're trying to decide if now's the right time to buy or sell and you want to sit down and put a game plan together, drop a comment below or shoot me a text at 619-971-0791.